Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Talk Experience show. And on our show today, we have with us Mr. Dare. I hope I'm right with the pronunciation.
Yeah, Dare.
So what's the meaning of Dare?
Dare, justified.
Justified.
Yeah.
So we are with Mr. Justified on our podcast today. And on today's show, we'll be learning from Mr. Dare's experience, true life experience. I don't know how this is gonna go and how it's gonna be, but I just believe that your life experience has a lot to teach, most especially young people, and not just young people, many other people out there. So how do we begin this now? Okay, let's just start from how the journey began for you. Maybe let's just begin from the family background, then let's see how God will help us.
Okay. So I'm happy to be here first. Thank you for having me. All right. So I'm born into a poor family, if I'm permitted to use that. You know, they say they have the middle class, the lower class, and but this is lower class. Yeah. So, and growing up, my dad got married to 2 wives, so that's by his side. So growing up, I didn't know anything. That is academically. Yeah, I didn't know anything. I don't know how to read. I could not write. I don't understand English. So even when I was in class, I don't comprehend what they teach. So life for me, education was never part of me or what I know I'm going to do. Not just because I don't want to do it, but because I don't have all it takes, to be learned or academically to be sound. So then I came up with this mindset of making myself become a notorious robber, armed robber. Not just somebody that will be stealing, like to steal big. Because majorly, just because of my mom, I want to make my mom happy because she has been through a lot.
Your mom, is she the first or second wife?
She's the second wife.
Okay. What about your dad?
My dad now is late. Okay. But even while he was alive, there was nothing.
He wasn't paying attention to you?
No, nothing. Not to both wives and children. I knew from the story I had that he was doing fine before, but things happened. And so he became a drunkard. My dad would drink to stupor. Like, they have to go and pack him. Yeah. So I got even from the story that my dad will steal things, or maybe he sell cocoa, because then he's into cocoa, farming. So he will sell cocoa, and the person even said the cocoa to you, go and steal the cocoa from the person. So, and even though if you catch my dad, according to the story I heard, he will deny it. Like, but we saw you give him anything, we swear. He will never accept that. So, through that, a lot of things happened to him that there was nothing good about him again. So, as for me, growing up, my mom, it was not easy for her. There are times we'll go to school and she will just promise us, the children, that please go to school. By the time you come back, there will be food. You meet food, because there was nothing for us to eat or to take to school. So before we come back, my mom will have entered into the bush to just get vegetable and all of that, to use her hand to plant whatever she can plant, just to make sure we come back and we see food to eat. So that kind of life, I don't know how to change the narrative. And it's something that is so heavy in my heart. Like, this woman can't continue like this. And so also other people, I just hate to see people in pain naturally. So I just said, okay, since I don't know anything academically, I think the best thing for me is to just become a notorious robber. Move my jali kirini, and everybody will know about it. So there was a particular time I collected my report card. I could not go home because I didn't want my mom to be sad. I didn't want her to be sad. Even though she cannot read, but my elder sister can help her to tell her, well, Otuti fail, like he has failed again. So I didn't go home. I collected the report card. I ran away from home. They were looking for me up and down. So eventually when I came back, my mom was just crying that it's not your fault. I'm not angry. So don't make me, please. It's even this one that you've done and that makes me to be more bothered. So you don't need to, it's not your fault. I understand. So, but to me, I just like, I'm not giving up. So from then I went to visit herbalists because my mom's dad happens to be an herbalist. Well known, yeah. So I went to visit him from school. I went to school. So from school, I left school with my school uniform. I went to meet him at home. I said, sir, but I want to do something. And I said, what is that? Why am I not in school? I told him Yoruba. I said, so that is a jazz that will make you to disappear from one place to another. So I told him that is what I want to do. And I want to do that so that I can disappear from, people that has money, anywhere their money is, maybe go to banks and all of steal things and disappear. All those, that is the mentality. So when I told him that I want to do that, he said, why? And I said, that you want to be stealing, or what do you want to do with that? And I said, I'm just like my mom, that I don't like the way my mom, the life she's living, like that the suffering is too much. So he now called me, he said I should come and sit down beside him. So I sat down beside him and he told me, he said, okay, for the fact that I even have this in mind, that it means there is something special about me, that you want to make your mom happy, but that is not the way out, that don't do it. He said, and if you leave my place, Dari, he used our dialect to tell me that I should not go to another place to go and do it. I said, okay. But in my mind, I was just like, I'm still going to do it. Because that I've made up my mind that is the only way out. That yes, there was no any other option for me. That was the only thing I had in mind, that okay, this is the only thing I can do, at least to change this story. I don't care whatever will come out of it. I just want to make sure my mom is happy and I'm able to make people happy, people that are in pain. That is all I'm concerned about.
And you took this decision at what age?
I think that should be when I was in primary 6. Yeah. Primary 6.
So the money you even want to go and steal is not just for your consumption?
Never, no, not at all. Not at all. And then, at least growing up, I hate to see people that they have too many things and you have people around you suffering. So to me, I was just like, okay, there's this mentality, I don't know how, just growing up with it. Then we're not exposed to maybe to know that there's one mansion or this, it's a village. I grew up in the village. Yeah, like real village. I was born in a place where there's only 5 buildings. As you are leaving the house, you are entering into cocoa farm. Cocoa farm, your house is cocoa farm. 5 buildings, so real village, like typical. So, but the only thing I just had in mind is, even though if you are living in the village, there's some people that still have money. So to me, I just like, if you have money, why can't you just make everybody also to be happy? Why are some people suffering and some people are okay? So that mentality. So it was becoming so stronger. So it was never for myself that I want to have, no. My mom and the people that are suffering. I just want to make sure that my mother is okay. The suffering was much. So that was the reason why I said, I want to do that. So the first time I'm going to know that I lied, because that now began. See, when we're talking about determination, many people are not determined. There's a way you can be determined that even God will have to come and he can only be the only one to stop you. Like your determination can be so strong that there's nothing. Because that was the kind of mindset I had. And with that, it was already giving me a kind of this fearless kind of, that brutal mentality, and for me to be strong, like I believe I can do anything, I can take anybody down, I can do so. That determination and the thought I have is already expanding and building walls in me for me to actually actualize, to become that which I said I want to be. So yeah. So when I was now living with my brother, he was a police officer, so I was living with him. So I began to lie here and there. I think there was a time they were mocking me in school, secondary school. No, in primary school then. That should be around my primary 6 as well. So they were mocking me that I don't know anything, this and that. I beat that guy. There was a boy. I beat the boy. I think blood was now coming out from his nose. So the teacher was now like, "Oh, Mongoko, Afiko Maja, you don't know anything. Just for you to be fighting and to be." So they asked for my brother's name, the number, our address. I told them, I said, my brother is not around. He has went for war because he's a police officer. I told them he has went for war. So I lied. Unfortunately, one of our teachers was passing by. She now saw my brother. Oh God, I felt like the only thing I had in mind is, you this teacher, I will kill you. So she told my brother what happened. My brother said, Oni Molosoji Ogun, that you said I went to war. Which war? Which battle I divided? I went to war. He flogged me that time. So that was the first time. So the second time, so I just noticed again and again, things were beginning to, happen to me that I never planned for. And I still had it in mind that that's armed robber of a thing. So from there, one of my brother's friend came home with his girlfriend, and he used to cook and give me food. But this particular day, he cooked. He didn't give me food. And I was going to go and buy this, go and buy that. He was also a police officer. So I bought everything. He didn't give me food, just for him and the girlfriend. In my mind, I said, I will show these people something that you don't toy with me, you don't joke with me like that. So he now gave me bucket to go and fetch water. Opportunity. So I collected the bucket from him. I broke the bucket and I opened tap on my head as if I fell down, that the bucket broke. So I broke the bucket. So when I went back home, I was not like, I said, I showed him the bucket. So, I could not speak English. At that time, I don't know anything. And he's an Igbo man. So I just tell him, bucket, head, what, stone, bah. So I'm like, are you trying to tell me that you eat your leg at stone, or what are you trying to say? He said, you broke this bucket. So
wait, as at then, you couldn't speak English at all?
At all. Like at all. There was nothing. I could not.
And this time you were still in the village with your mom, or you?
Yeah, I've moved with my brother, uncle.
Still in the village.
But still in that place is called Erinle in Kwara State.
Okay.
Erinle is still in Kwara State. That place is but not, you can still call it, we like call Erinle community now. Yeah. So that was where we were, that those things happened. Now, so from there, where the whole story, everything about me began to change, was when my brother got transferred to Lagos. So now I moved to Lagos with my brother. So when we now came to Lagos, the church my brother was attending, I had to follow him, because growing up, there was nothing like this spirituality of it. I didn't even have any Bible to myself. There was nothing like that.
Okay, your family never went to church.
There was nothing like, we are Christian by name, that kind of, but not all this what Christianity is. There was nothing like that too. My dad doesn't even go to church, maybe once in 2 years or anytime. He can.
Siblings too.
Yeah, my elder sister, she was still committed. At least she was even part of the choir in what is it called, Catholic Church. Yeah, she was committed. But you see me, and I wasn't, because there was nobody that, that can really push you to, who do you want to look up to? that is a Christian that is fervent. When your parents are fervent, it's so easy for them to actually make you do what they are doing. That you have to pray, you have to go to church, you have to go and work for all those. But there was nothing like that. So when my brother came to Lagos, the church he was attending, I followed him to the church. So the man of God, this is one thing I will never forget in my life. So the man of God now said, okay, he was preaching about Solomon, how that Solomon offered sacrifice unto God, and God could not resist, but God came down and asked Solomon, what did you want? So the pastor now said, it's not until you offer sacrifice like that there are a lot of things you can also do, that once you are committed to it, that God can also ask you that what do you want, and you can tell God whatever you want, God will do it. That's why I can never forget that sermon. So I was not like, so God, even though I was not a crazy boy, everybody believed that there is God, somebody that is mighty, God can come and ask me, what did I want? If this thing is true, truly, oh yeah, and the way he preaches, I said, okay, I have power. I'm just coming from the village. The strength is there. I can walk. We clear cocoa from here to, So I said, I can work for God, and there are bush around the church, and there is sand in the gutter, and the church cleaning and all of that. I said, okay, I can do all these things. I want God to come and visit me. And the reason why my intention was, do not forget, I want to become a notorious armed robber. So I was like, if God should come and ask me what did I want, I just want to tell God to give me the power to be able to disappear from one place to another. Yeah, there was no knowledge like God.
Okay, you couldn't achieve that with the herbalist.
With the herbalist.
Okay.
Yeah, and because he told me not to go to another place to go and do it, and he's somebody that is faithful, I don't know. So I think that fear too was not like I should not go to another, but I still had that determined. I want to do this whole thing I want to do. When that my pastor said that thing, I took it upon myself. Now that okay, I'm going to be cleaning the bush and packing the sand from the gutter. So that was what I was doing. I was doing it expecting that God will show up and ask me the question, what do you want? Yes. Now, so my school is not even from the church. This is my school. This is a church that I was attending, not far at all. So sometimes I would just leave the school once rain fell, because there's another man that used to pack sand in that gutter. So I always make sure that I'm the first person to pack the sand from the gutter. That kind of a competition. So I will leave school even before the rain stop. I will make sure I enter into the gutter. Before I know the man cannot enter the gutter before the rain will stop. So I would have entered inside the gutter and pack this. That was how I was doing it. Then there was this particular day, as I was packing that sand, I was packing the sand from the gutter. How I left that place to enter and find myself in the church, it's still a question I'm going to ask God when I get to heaven. I want God to play that scene, that particular part for me. How did I enter into the church? So I entered into the church, and it was like I was asked a question. I was the only one in the church, but it was now later that I know that it's the angel of the Lord, that the Lord was asking me what did I want. So he asked me, what did you want? I said, I want to know how to read and write and how to speak English. He said, like,
okay,
it was.
You weren't even responding to the voice you were hearing in English.
No, it was in Yoruba.
Okay.
And it was in, you see, what he was saying, is not Yoruba, is not English, is not, but you just know what he's saying.
Okay.
Yes, that was how it was. I can't say necessarily speaking Yoruba, but I know what he was saying. So I can say he was speaking Yoruba, but it was not Yoruba. But when he speaks, you just know that this is what he's saying, like he's communicating with me in Yoruba.
But still at that time, you still can't speak
I
English.
still can't speak English, nothing. So I was responding in Yoruba that I want to know how to move. That was, I said it, to be able to read, to write, and speak English. So he noted it. After just that thing looked so small in his hand. With that just little thing, just like noted, that kind of, like, you just jot something down. So I said, that is too small. That I should ask for something. What did I want? So I was now like, okay, I want to be great. I want to have money. I want to have money. I want to be great. And with the mindset of to help people, like I said, that's as only, yes. I said, I want to be great, to have money, to have a lot of money. It's as if it was noted. Like they say. So it's not like this third time now that he wants to ask me. It's just like, you've not asked. It's as if I've not asked for anything. So he now asks the third time, like, what do you want? So this third time, jokingly, I just said, because then I used to believe that people that are called pastors, they are special people, that God just created them specially to, So I said, if possible, if I tell me about the pastor. So when I said that thing, and I said, not just pastor, I said, tell me about the pastor, Tomalo Kiki, that a popular pastor that is going to be great, a great minister of God, pastor. So like he noted that now you've asked for something. So when he noted, the next thing I just realized when I came back to my senses was I was on the floor. So to me, the last thing I remember was I was inside the gutter parking stand. What am I doing inside the church and on the floor? Why am I on the floor? And the floor was not tiles then, so I was confused. But when I woke up, when I stood up, I realized that something has changed in me. Like directly like that. I knew that the way I think, my reason, my mentality, I know something has happened to me. But at that moment, I didn't know what it was, but I just knew that I'm light now, like something has happened to me, but I didn't know what it was. But when I knew that truly something has happened to me was when I went outside just for me to go and continue. After some few minutes, I was just contemplating what happened. So I went outside to go and continue packing the sand I was packing. So there was a mosque adjacent the church. So they have this banner in the front of that mosque. So I just realized that I could read everything on that banner. And when you are reading something, you know that what you are reading is right. Like the way you are even pronouncing it, like this thing is correct. So that hand, I was like, no, I'm not packing this thing again. Because I could read everything on that banner. So the first thing I wanted to do was to run back home and just go and meet the children. They used to teach me how to read, those children. And if they are teaching me, they always laugh because they ask me to pronounce something, all those kind of, yeah. So each time they want to teach me how to read, it's just as if they want to catch fun. Okay, yeah. So I now ran back home to go and meet them. I said, I can read. I said, they started laughing again. Oga, what he did, our brother has come. Now he can read. They now brought out the textbook. I will never also forget that story that they always used to teach me in that particular textbook. I can never forget. Because that same story, oh God, again and again, they just kept on teaching me how to read. I didn't understand. So they now brought the textbook. I was reading everything, like I could read everything. So they're like, hey, can you go? So when I noticed that now I know how to read, oh God, if you see the joy. And meanwhile, after that encounter, one thing I also realized was that joy. After the encounter I told you inside that church, oh God, you see, there is a joy. There is a joy. If the Bible is saying the joy of the Lord is my strength, truly there's something like joy. It has nothing to do with whether you have money or you don't have. It has nothing to do with you, what you have or what you don't have. That joy, oh God, I can't explain it. I wish it's something I could put in words, that this is how the joy of the Lord looks like. But when you have it, you just know that, oh God, it's enough. It's a major thing. So from there, I went back to where I was parking the sand in the gutter with this excitement. The way I was even parking that sand. So God can come out. And how I did not end up asking God to give me the power for me to be a notorious robber. I don't even know why I didn't ask for that. But when during that scenario, the encounter, it's not something I can ask. I didn't just ask. I didn't know, but I asked for those things I asked for. But remember, what really made me to say I want to do that is so that God will give me the power for me to be able to disappear from one place to another. So it just made me to realize that God can use your appetite, your desire, even though it is wrong. God can use it for his own will. Like he can use that he can walk around your desire because he knows that this is what you have in your heart, this is what is in your mind. So God can use it even to work out his own will for you. Moses has been in Egypt and he understands how the magician, how they do things. So when God will come and also have a counter to have a word with Moses, he needs to do something that Moses has been used to, like magic. So he saw the bush was burning, but it was never consumed. And the scripture says it turned to bio, to look like he has been seeing a lot of things in Egypt, but this particular one is so just to get his attention. So the same thing. So that's why I said God can use one's desire, even though it's not in line with the will of God, but God, because of the motive, God can actually pardon your actions sometimes, but is after motive. He can judge motive. So I think God just walk around my desire, for me to just come to him and for him to just work out things. And that's why the scripture said, for we know that all things work together for good for them that love God. So that was how my whole encounter, that was how it started. I could speak English and all of that. So I started that journey with God. Now I'm praying. Oh God. I think that also came with the only thing I just wanted to do was to pray. I just wanted to pray. So I now went to go and meet my pastor. This is when the whole journey to me, after that encounter, it is as if another chapter of my life now, like, okay, now let's start life. Let's start journey. That was how, from that encounter, that was how I see my life. So I went to meet my pastor. I said that God is playing with me, that that God used to play with me, because I didn't understand all these things, but plus the joy that I always have in my heart, and I just begin to know things in my spirit, in my mind, in my spirit. I begin to, so to me, I would just be smiling like, so God can be this playful, like he can play with somebody like this. So I now went to go and meet my pastor that that God is playing with me a lot. So my pastor now said, I said, that God is playing with me. So he now said, that what did I mean? I said, I have this joy, and sometimes the Lord will be telling me something, and when he tells me that thing, I will see that thing will now come to pass. Yes. Then after that encounter, I will continue in prayer. So if I see that something wants to happen, it's something that it's just like I already hear it that this thing is going to happen. So by the time it happened, I was like, God, so I consider it to be like God was playing with me. But my pastor told me, he said, just continue praying. And he now said something. He said, anything that he tells you, write it down. Make sure you have a book that should always write things down. Thank God he told me that thing. Yeah, because there are a lot of things that during that process, I just want to pray. Spend hours in. That is the only thing that now matters to me. I just wanted to pray. So I continued in that prayer. So that was how the whole journey for me. That was how it started. Before, later, you see, accepting Jesus Christ as one Lord and personal Savior is just a step. Yeah, it's like you have just taken a step. There are a lot of steps that you still need to take. So I thought that was all. So to me, I was like, if this is how simple it is, why are people not serving God? Like, if it can just happen to me, like I could start speaking English like this, it happens to me that I begin to know things that is going to happen. So why are people not serving God? Why are things not happening everywhere? I didn't know that it's like a welcoming service. Yeah, it's just like when God, like a newborn baby. Everybody will carry that baby. They want to, even though if the baby, if he pee on anybody's body, everybody will still laugh like, hey, he pee on my body. After 2 years, that same child will come and be trying what he has been doing. He begin to receive some tapping and slapping for correction. So that stage also came in my life. That after then, I now began to realize that there is another level to God. You and God just playing, do this, father and child. No, it now comes to like calling you higher, that there is more. So the correction side of it. So from then, I now realized that lie and stealing was still there. Now, you see, that somebody has given his life to Christ, that you accepted the Lord as your Savior, that does not mean your old and behavior that are not really good. That does not mean it's going to go automatically. That is one thing I also realized. That now it's just like God wants to work on you. You accepting the Lord as your Lord and Savior is just like, okay, you are telling him that now come and take charge. And when it comes to take charge, he's coming to remove some certain things. God is coming, he's not coming to use you the way you are or tell like you are okay. Honestly, there are tendencies in man that even we ourselves, we don't know yet. I didn't know I could, that lying or eventually, so humanizing and came into the picture.
After you became born again?
Yes. Okay. So it's as if the more I pray, the more some certain things are just coming up. Like the more I pray, the more, so where, like I'm not like this. I'm a very cool, even though I wanted to become that, I was still this cool, I don't like, but I noticed that something are now coming up inside of me. And thank God for the likes of Apostle Joshua Selman and Theophilus, and the teaching of Selman, and that is even another thing entirely that let's just continue with my own personal experience, not to, because growing up in that spiritual journey, and I realized that everything that happens to my dad, there is that nearly, there are a lot of things that the Lord will now come and work on in a man, like I said. So my dad, I got to know that my dad does not just like see things like that. He does not just lie. The issue of women, even apart from the 2 wives that he married, there are still a lot of, even to the extent that I was told that there are a lot of children, they don't even know that my dad had outside. That there are some they know, but there are others that they don't even know. Yeah. So I think, and it is not the only person with what so it's as if that thing is like this, a kind of a pattern, this, in the family. Yeah. But one thing about God is this. There was a time I wanted to be running away from the fact that how can I be a Christian and I want to be lying, this tendency to steal or like to deceive people. Why can't you let your yes be yes? And so when the time comes, I just like, it's like as if this Christian thing is a scam. Yeah, because I was getting tired of it that, this is another stage, another phase of it. But it is never to run away from this new challenge. It is actually trusting God, like for you to rely on God, like, okay, Now I know I'm weak. Lord help me. So I was trying to like, oh, me was shaking him. And one thing that my pastor always tell me, he loves me so much. Yes. One thing he always tell me is, Dari, no matter nkan tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀, you see that prayer, don't stop praying. Because it's all the way I used to pray. I mean, it's not as if I want to pray. I just find myself that if I don't pray, I'm not okay. You know, that kind of, it's as if that encounter I told you, there's a lot of things that actually came with it. So from then, that was how the issue of humanizing came into the picture. In 7 years, I've dated 48 ladies.
48 ladies.
In 7 years.
And you slept with the 48?
Not with the 48. Not with the 48.
So how many did you sleep with in that 48?
At least I've slept with, let's say 40. I don't, but let me just say 40.
40?
Yeah.
40 of them within 7 years?
Within the space of 7 years.
Do you know what the 7 years, like just within 7 years, 48 ladies?
Yes. If you want to count back before I had that encounter, you know, even from then, I just noticed that I don't need to ask a lady out before things happen now, even before the encounter. So if you want to count before the encounter with it, honestly, we'll be talking about 50. That is like 3-4 years before that encounter.
Do you still humanize now?
No.
And so I wanted to know how you were able to get down over 40-something ladies.
Okay.
And then like the things that really happened that period, and then how you were able to get away from there.
Okay.
And those times you already started that woman and sleeping around with ladies, you were already like a believer now, like you already born again now.
Yes.
And so like you already started this pastor stuff.
Yeah. Though I was not ordained
Already.
But, you know, due to what I do, like, you know, to be fervent with God, you know, people give name like, you know, pastor. Yes. Because everything that pastor was doing, I was doing. But
you were doing those things. Were those ladies like still in the same church with you?
No.
Okay, but majority of them still came from the church?
No.
Okay, just outside.
Yes.
Were they prostitutes?
They're not prostitutes.
Like these are just ladies. How
yeah,
do you...
okay. Now, some of them, I think two of them, they've attended the church before. Yeah.
Okay, you met them from the church?
Yes. 2 of them.
So how are you able to convince, like, you how many do you date at a time?
Do you know, it goes to an extent that dating a lady, it is when I see them, you just remember that, okay, me and this one, it was that bad that I don't even know which one, but when we see, or maybe when I see message or call, that is when I remember that, okay, we have something together. How are you doing? How is everything? Yeah, it was that bad. And see, that's why I said, it's not something that maybe I was doing that really makes me that maybe I was proud of it. No, it was not like that. You know, things just happen. I just find myself that, okay, if I said this one, God, this thing, I don't want to do this thing again, with tears, crying like, take this thing, let this thing go. There was a time I cursed myself. I said, if I ever do this thing again, that I should die. Yeah, I was cursing myself with tears in my eyes. I was cursing myself, I should die. Thank God it's not a prayer that God answers. Or that rather than answering it directly the way we want it, we rather use that prayer point to help us in another area. I cursed myself. That same day, I still fell into it. And there was another time. This thing is not something that in a week, it's so impossible for me not to have sex. No. It's impossible. So, if I now notice that, what am I doing? God, I'm not doing this. I could remember there was a time I broke my SIM card, 2 SIM cards. I put it in my mouth and I chew it, crying that I don't want anybody to reach me again. I don't want anything. That's why I said it is not everything. If the Lord does not help a man, there is nothing you can't be righteous or you can't be holy on your own. I don't know if you can't please God on your own. The Lord weaken all my full of myself mental, like I can't do this thing, the Lord weaken every part of me. I realize that you can't do it. Yes. And it makes me to also realize when I see people that are going through some stuff, I would rather, if I don't know what to do or what to say, I will never put my mouth or to join my mouth and anybody that this person is a Christian, you fuck up, or this pastor fair, this pastor, because I've been there. I know that this thing is just by grace. He has to hold your hand. Now, that is not all up to God, and that is where our own discipline comes from. But if the Lord has not break those tendencies, that he has not dealt with it, and even that spirit, I believe there's a spirit of fornication. If the Lord does not deal with that spirit, that deliverance comes, no amount of you disciplines or you set rules for yourself, it's not going to work. It can't work. It can work for a day or two. Remember when I said I cursed myself? I went to go and meet my pastor. I told him, I cried to him. It's not as if I was silent about it or something. No. But everything I know to do, I did it. Yes, to my best of knowledge. Is it fast? Fasting from morning to evening was not even part of, I don't believe that, like, for me, that I can fast like that. The least I do, if I want to fast, I do 3 days, marathon. 7 days, man, no water, no food.
And you finish fasting and still have sex.
Yes. So that's why I said, if God does not help a man, when I know that there's a problem, 2 ladies the same day, they came to tell me that God told them that I'm their husband. The same day. How will God tell 2 ladies that this? So in my head, I just be like, see, is either you help me or this thing. Let's just forget about it. I'm comparing that new phase of my life compared to when I just accepted him as my Lord and Savior. When I had that encounter, everything was smooth. Before I say this one, God has done it. But this stage now is as if God, he shows calm meaning. Is God? You understand? Like it's the same thing I used to. I pray, you talk to me. Now I'm praying, you are not talking to me. And this thing, I said, if it is because of this thing, take it. It's beyond my power and I can't do anything about this thing. I told you, if you see the kind of cause I raised on myself, death, kill me, nothing. That same night, I remember a man. I saw a man. That's the first time I ever heard about Mother Teresa. I've never known that there's somebody like that. It was in my vision I saw Mother Teresa. Yes. And he was discussing with one old man like that in that vision. And they were saying something about Bible. Oh God. All these encounters, it doesn't stop me from having some serious encounters. Yes. There is another man, Edward Jenny. He told me he's an ancient doctor. And he looked ancient truly. All the hairs on his head was white. Edward Jenny. That was what they call his name. Edward, then Jenny. Jenner. I can't forget. He told me, he said there's something he wanted to do that can cure sicknesses. Like uncurable sickness. He said, but he could not achieve it. Now he told me some 2 things that somebody can. I said, I'm praying for God to take away this thing. I'm having all these. He's a doctor. I'm not a doctor. That's having this kind of, Yeah. Then from there, when the encounter, when the whole thing began to, now happened to me. So when it was like, when my pastor, when he died, he told me some other things. But after he died, now, I now began to realize that after like 2 years, it begins to drop. Now, this is not by my own discipline, like because I set rules. No, I just realized that, that desire to even want to keep up with ladies, it's a natural day. Like it was just going, it was just going down. But it doesn't happen at once. Yes, I will not go to lie that I had one encounter. There's no encounter like that. But it's something that was just going down. And I used to be an emotional person. If you tell me that, okay, and you see maybe something happened because of that, or it was my being emotional, which was a crazy person. I never trust somebody who is emotional. I can do anything for you as a lady. If you only just tell me that, okay, and as you are now, your boyfriend did this, he did that to you. I can tell you that, okay, don't worry. Till you are going to see another boyfriend, I can be your boyfriend. Crazy. Why? What, do I have to do that? Like, so there was a time I was now praying. The Lord now told me, this is another statement. The Lord told me, He said, I should not take His place in people's hearts. That was not the ways, when the Lord is talking, but that was what I know that they like. You can't take people's place, my place in people's, like, I'm now becoming like, okay, I want to be there. It's a very stupid way of life to live somebody's life. So my face is not the one on the crucifix. I'm not the one who died for but now I just realized that I just want to be there for people. I want to make sure that everybody is fine, but I ended up just entering into problems and again. So the encounter, like I said, it was going down. It was something that was not going down. Like now I can tell a lady, like, see, this thing, I'm not ready to get married, and I don't want to delay you. Before I could not say those things. Yes, I couldn't. I don't know how to say no. But now I just realized that I can say it. If you come, you come. If you go, till it became one. Yes, it was just like that, how it happened. Now, so when the whole thing will now happen, like final, that I know that, being possessed is just like having a sickness, a major sickness in somebody's body. A sickness that cannot make you to walk. When you are ill, you are ill. When you have malaria and typhoid and it's in your body, when you are fine, you know that I don't have malaria again. That is how it is. You just know that this thing, the tendency is not. You can't come to me now as a lady. I'm not even going to. You understand? I'm not even going to give you the listening here, a kilo. But then I'm always there. A mini. So there was a man of God that I saw 2017. That man conducted a deliverance for me in my dream. Do you know, I went to seminary 2021. I met this same person in the seminary school. Initially, I had forgotten the vision I had. 2017, I've forgotten the vision. So, but when I saw that man, he has a group where they pray. So they invited me to that group. A friend of mine invited me to a group. I even lied against that my friend. Part of the lies I was lying up at. I told a lie against that my friend. Now, so I not met this man of God. That my friend invited me to that group. I said, I'm not going to that group, Jerry. I didn't tell him like that, but in my mind, I just like, I'm not joining this group. Later on, I now had a vision, like of a reminder that the person I saw in 2017, that this is the person. That was why I went to go and join the group. the next time. But I was not fully committed to that group. I just wanted to have a personal relationship with that man of God. Not because of the group necessarily, but because of that man of God. Do you know the day that I'm going to receive my deliverance? He called me. He said, I know you are going to come to me. Honestly speaking. When I got it, he said he already told somebody, and he called the person that, didn't I tell you that this person is coming to me, that will come and meet me? Yes. Like that was like a month ago that he called the person that I'm going to come and meet him. And when I came to him, he said he has been waiting for me, that now my time has come, that the Lord wants to deliver me completely. Now, meanwhile, before I went to meet him, this issue of humanizing it has gone down. It has gone down. Not completely delivered, but it has gone down. So then I said, my time has come for me to be delivered. That was how the deliverance started. He was praying for me and he was crying. And this man of God, he used to make a statement. He said he, as a person, that he is sent to injured ministers. That is his own calling. I've never heard of that kind of, like, a ministers of God that maybe they have been injured, or maybe they have worked with God, they have divided. He said that is his own calling. If you see him, you are not going to know that this person, he said, but that is his own calling. He once made that statement. So when I went to meet him, he was crying. He said, Lord, I thank you for you have sent another person. He was praying for me. He was crying. And as he was praying for me, immediately so after the prayer, he now told me where to go and spend a month in that place. Yeah. That should go there. Meanwhile, that's the same place I had him. So everything, that period just worked together. Like, yeah. So that was how I went to the place to go and pray. Confirmation, I on that place that I went to, I don't want to mention there is a well-known man of God that I met on that mountain. So, and I told the man of God that this is the reason why I came here, this and that. He now said to me, he said, he's a prophet of God that everybody knows. So he now said to me, he said, if I tell you my own, that you pick stone and you stone me. He said, but you know what? It is part of that it is what makes us to be who we are. Like, it's just like part of your experience, like what you have, but it's something that till I will die, may I never find myself in that kind of situation again. So these are the major experience. And one thing I just realized is your story is your story. My story is my story. There are some things you can't just stop yourself from experiencing. They will just happen to you. Yeah. And it is what I heard T.D. Jakes said once upon a time, that it is what you do with what you experience that really matters. But it's not easy. That, it takes grace. Yeah. Even after you are delivered, you're out of it. When you just remember, you're like, how could I have, been in that kind of situation and all of that? So these are just the major thing. And the only thing I now that I know is speaking now. It gives me more confidence. You understand? Like, if I want to talk about God, or maybe I want to speak with somebody about you are going through some challenges, you have your weakness, and there's this confidence that it's like, no. That confidence, it comes with it, and peace. You see, that joy I told you, the joy I used to have when I had that encounter, that joy came back. Because during those periods, that is one thing I noticed that I was not experiencing again. That joy. That joy dimension of God is something that is very important. So I noticed that. So these things, so that is how it happens. And
do you think your parents could have played a major role in your life, not allowing you to get to that extreme, if they were taking up their responsibility as parents?
Okay, On that, this is one thing I would say. Never blame people who never had the control or the chance of doing what they're supposed to have done. I don't like to see somebody as maybe the reason why something happened to me. No matter what it is, I like to just see it as my own responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you see, some of us, we left home to feed home. And that home that we left, the home even give us battle. Do not forget, I said all this thing I experienced, my dad also experienced the same thing. And not just my dad. So it's something that has been. So people that left home and their home gave them battle. So before they can come back to come and feed them, they need to conquer that battle that their home even give them. And some people, they left home with the blessing from their home and even resources, everything they need in life. And you would think we are the same thing. So if I'm sharing my story and somebody is making any comments, this, and that, we are not the same thing. You didn't experience what I experienced. Where I came from is not where you came from. So it would be wrong for you to judge me by your own experience. And what we are going to face, what we are going to go through, whether we like it or not, it can never be the same. But one thing that matters is people, it will have been more better. If you grow up in a Christian home where the parents, they have already fight some battles for you. They have conquered some battles. Because I remember even if my mom is praying for me, she used to mention that prayer of Ogunto Bori Baba, Koni Bori. What that means is the battle that overcame your father will not overcome you. That used to overcome them in your lineage, that will not overcome you. She knows, but there's nothing she could do about it than to pray, Abi. And she herself, she was not trained in the Christian home, under the background. So I can't blame her for what she does not have it. What you don't have, you can't give. So now that this now comes to me, that I've just choose it as my own responsibility. And one thing, the reason why my own is even more, it's terrible like this, is I thank God for it. Honestly speaking, every part of my life, I just give glory for everything. Number one, that I didn't went with it. It's a major thing for me. Now, what if Joseph, it was the one that God showed the vision to, that all the family will bow down. What he went through, none of them also went through it. If what God showed you is different, God, when another encounter, after that first encounter, there are a lot of things that God will show you. But how you will get there, He will not show you. The problem on the way, He will not show you. You get it? David, he has been anointed as king, but he first went inside the forest to go and be living in the forest, in the cave. But one thing, in the midst of everything, He said, when you walk through fire, when you walk through water, I will not leave you. I will not. So, in the midst of everything, I still see people that support me, people that still believe in me, that you understand. So the same thing with everybody. We are all going to have a story to tell. It's just that the story is going to be different. So I don't blame my parents. I don't say that. But from people that grew up in a Christian home and their parents has really helped them, I think once in a while they should appreciate their parents. People need to appreciate their parents. That has that kind of privilege. That yes, even though they didn't conquer the whole battle like that, but at least they've weakened it. So you are just coming to you're not going to really, But some people, they faced it raw. So their experience and your own experience, your parents are, they have fought those battles for you. It can't be the same thing now. It's not possible. The story you are going to share can never be the same thing. You understand? So that is how it is. So for the fact that my mom even though the financial support, was never there, but I tell you 100%, she always wished to do. Yeah, and everything within her capacity, she used it. She tried as a mother. Yes, she tried. And I owe her a lot for that. But what that she tried. Yes. So that I think that is.
Wow. Your story is quite very much inspiring because I learned determination. I learned that no matter what you are going through in life, I just know that the Lord cannot give up on anyone.
Exactly. Now who give up, fuck up?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's really an amazing thing. So what is this one advice you would give to a young person out there who left home and then is struggling to survive, and also who is struggling with this issue of womanizing too? What is this one advice you would give to them?
All right. Concerning that, the first thing I will say, if you are struggling with the issue of humanizing, is never be silent about it.
Okay.
Yes. Sin multiplies and it expands in secrecy, like when you keep it. Yes. You can't deal with it on your own. So make sure you always come out and talk to people about it. I thank God for the likes of Pastor B.C. Adewale. He's a man that is into relationship. And thank God for him in my life. Pastor B.C. Adewale. Thank God for him in my life. Yeah. So never be silent about it. Never be silent about it. Secondly, never give up. Even when people knows and they try to talk you down, no listen or no hear. Face it that this is you. And you make sure, have that determination in your heart that you are going to overcome this thing. This thing will not see the end of you. So never be silent about it. Any moment you see somebody that you can talk to about it, it's not everybody you can also talk to. Yes. I've spoken to somebody before. Pastor, you understand? Pastor Dari, somebody that is elderly to me that I thought he will even maybe pray with me, to them. So it's not also everybody that you can tell. That's another thing I learned. But the moment you notice that, okay, you can share with this person, please don't keep quiet. Don't keep quiet. And if you leave home, that you are just the only one that want to survive. And many of us out there, we are there. Even me, I'm still there. You understand? I'm still there. But never give up, no matter what. No matter what it is, never give up. And never allow, people will always try to talk you down. Whew. Yes. People will want you to just for you to go down like that. Because they already know that you have always been a threat to them. Yes. And if truly you are the champion, what you are going to face will be different. Yeah, you face the real thing. So face it. It's part of who you are. You understand? So that's one thing I would tell anybody. It's part of who you are. It's part of your story. So accept it. Accept it so don't allow anybody to talk you down about it. Never give up. And no matter what, the same thing my pastor said to me, never run away from God. People will want you to think that because of this thing you have done, or you can even go on social media. Okay, sorry, let me say this. There was a time I heard a man of God who said he married as a virgin, a man of good. Honestly, it's a grace. I like that. But you will definitely have another thing you also dealt with. Yours might not be, sleeping around. There is something else. You can't just come. Yes. It's an experience for everybody that you are going to share something. Especially if you are called into the ministry, or everybody as well. You understand? Everybody. You are going to have is something that you just know, like you experience. Yours might not be stealing. It might be anger. everybody, your own is there in the cooler, very hot for you. So just accept who you are and never give up. Never run away from God. Never be silent about it, talking to people that can help you. I think that is what I'll say. Never give, no matter what. That determination should be stronger than anything. Never allow people to talk you down. No. Never. Yes. Just like the way they were telling that blind man that keep quiet, can you come? One thing I now realized that people that always try to shut you up when they notice your flaw, your weakness, that they are trying to shut you up, if you refuse to be silent, they are the same people that will come and announce to you and that will announce about you. But at first, when they are telling you to you better shut up. If you give up, that is the end of it for you. But those people, if you don't give up and you eventually you overcame that particular thing, I tell you that the same people that will say, we know him. No, the Lord really helped him. He can come. Yes, let it be. That one is sweet and it's better like that. Yes. So that is how you should just say that is everybody. Everybody will have something to share. Like what I said, it will just be different. So that's what I would tell a younger version of anybody like out there that still struggling with those things. Anybody.
Wow. That's really amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Dare.
Thank you so much for
for the vulnerability in sharing this powerful experience of yours.
Thank you.
And I believe it will go a long way to really impact people and really affect their lives. This is like a very strong story. You're saying it this way and it sounds so simple. Like I'm just in my head like 48 ladies. Oh more, I no do down and reach. I salute you for that area. But like having to go through that kind of experience and you're standing your ground today to say, see, God helped me through this and I'm very much responding. In fact, part of the shocking experience, like what shocked me, like how you never knew about English and all that, and then you are speaking it fluently today. It's really mind blowing. Like how it's not something a normal person can explain. So I believe this your life story will really bless a lot of people out there. And if you have watched till this point, I believe that this blessed you the same way it blessed me as well. And I believe you took out a lot from this episode. Now, do us a favor by sharing this to as many as possible, right? Because I believe that someone needs to hear this in order to experience a change as well in their own life. So I would encourage you to please share this broadcast now, like share this episode now, keep sharing it, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification button so that you will not miss out on our subsequent podcast episode. We'll see you in our next session. Bye.